Hello and welcome back, everyone. We're of course back, and today we're back on Hypixel Skyblock, and I think I just found the most versatile pet in this entire game. Also, before we get started, the 50 million coin giveaway for 1,500 subscribers is going to be ending very soon on October 10th. So if any of you would like to join in on that and have a chance at winning, all that you need to do is just simply comment down below saying your in-game name and that you're subscribed, and I will add you to the giveaway. So, without further ado, let's get back to the video. Now, do note, when I say versatile, I'm not saying it's the best pet by any means. It's actually, quite literally, the first pet most people will ever get. But, there's some things I've noticed about the amazing thing that is the bee pet. Now, first off, this thing here. What can you even say about it? It's just such an interesting pet. I mean, to start off with, you've got relatively useless extra abilities. You know, for each player within 25 blocks, you get extra stats. That's pretty general with a lot of pets. Or not a lot, but a couple pets. And it's not like you're using this in any situation where those are really gonna help. Weaponized honey, that's not really gonna do much. But the thing we're looking for is Busy Buzz Buzz. At level 100, grants 30 farming fortune, foraging fortune, and mining fortune. So, potentially, you know, you give this a bejeweled collar as this one has right here, you get up to 40 mining fortune. You give it a yellow bandana, you get easy 60 mining fortune. You give it a green bandana, you can have way more than that. You give it a Minos relic, and you can have 40 of each of those roughly. But those aren't really super impressive stats, right? You know, nothing too special about those, to be fair. Until Foxy's in office, that is. Because, here's the thing. When Foxy here is in office, there's gonna be a carnival throughout the entire Skyblock year. And while there's a carnival, there's of course going to be this big carnival structure over here in the main hub, which, after playing the minigames, you will be able to buy some things with the tickets that you get. And this time, maybe every time Foxy's in office, I don't know, I've never really paid attention to this before, but at the very least this time, you can go into this mask shop here, and right here you've got this wonderful thing here, the bee mask. This thing is extremely easy to get. I know it says 2,000 carnival tokens, and that is a lot, but if you're just starting on the carnival, you've got all of these bonuses, and honestly, within a little bit, I had that many. So it's not a difficult task. And this thing will double the base pet stats of your active bee pet. So, I have it right here. And now obviously this means that you can't wear a helmet, which that's its own detriment, because if you're doing just about any other kind of farming, you're of course farming with a set of armor that probably has more farming fortune, or at least a worthwhile amount, where it's not really going to be worth using a different pet just to get that extra fortune. Now you may be thinking, why is it at all worth it then? You know, if it's better to just use armor and a normal pet, why did I spend around 20 million for this bee pet and all of my carnival tokens on this mask? Well, the simple answer to that is basically just because I wanted to. It seemed fun. I wanted to see how overpowered a bee pet could be. Pun not intended, actually. I'm kind of surprised at myself for that. But the real answer to that is actually in what I originally said. I was demonstrating using, you know, my Devon's armor that I just got recently that is as good as I could get it to be, pretty much. This stuff's got a lot of mining fortune. So of course, when you're comparing this bee mask to a good Devon helmet, it's not even going to be comparable. You know, you have so many other bonuses here, such as the pristine and more mining fortune than you'd get total from the bee setup, and a ton of mining speed and all that. It's not worth it if you look at high tier farming and mining and all that setups. But when you start comparing it to lower tier stuff, say Yogg armor, or even, you know, Crappie armor, then things start to get a bit different. Now I would assume the same goes for if you have foraging armor at a low tier and a high tier, that, you know, it would actually be worth it for the low tier, but I don't do foraging, and I don't even know if there is foraging armor sets. That's how little I do it. And considering that the foraging update might actually happen kinda soon, as well as some updates to Hypixel as a whole, such as supposedly changing to a, recent version of Minecraft, which is wild, and I might do a video about that on its own soon. Maybe there will be better foraging armor coming out soon too, but once again, I don't know if there's any foraging armor even at all right now. But back to the matter at hand, this bee pet. Now, the way I like to think of this thing is it's kind of just a, jack of all trades, or even like a 10 of all trades. It's not going to be fantastic at one thing. So say you're doing a lot of farming and you have a full setup for farming. You probably have an elephant pet, most likely level 100, most likely you've kind of decked it out, because you're trying to do as good of farming as possible. You're trying to make as much money back as you can. So if you have an elephant pet, you're getting 150 farming fortune just from the extra bonus ability, so it's not like you really need the extra 60 or 90 that you could get from a bee pet. But say you don't have an elephant pet, say you're newer to farming, say you have a rabbit pet, and you're not getting much, if any, farming fortune from that, you can always just use a bee pet with this bee mask. And I know you may be wondering, back to the armor, farming armor, that's gotta have some, effect in all this. In my opinion, though, at least in the armor set that I use, which is just crappy, it's not the best, obviously, but the helmet's giving 24 farming fortune. I could put a gemstone on there, but it would be stupidly expensive. I could give it a better reforge, but it would be stupidly expensive. This is kind of a good example of what this situation would be. You're kind of getting into farming, but you aren't super into it yet. In this case, you could always reforge this bee mask to, fit what you're trying to do, so that it at least helps you a bit. And then you could give the bee pet, some kind of bandana, as I said, give it insane amounts of farming fortune, and you could have a very solid contender compared to some of the other options. Now, once again, I paid a lot of coins for this, around 20 million, mostly just because I had wanted one with a cool skin since I was getting one anyway. But currently, a level 1 legendary elephant pet is gonna cost about as much as I paid for this whole bee pet. Now, once again, it'll be better at level 100, but, if you're early on and if you don't have much money to spend and you want to kind of diversify what you're doing, then you could also go mining, and you could also go foraging, and you could make, more money from all of those sources, while also having 20 speed, 60 strength, and 100 intelligence, which are not bad extra stats to have. Or another example is, if you're early game mining, and if you have a pet like this, there really aren't many good mining pet options in the early game. Later on, you get the Mithril Golem, you get a Scatha, you get a Bow pet, whatever else. But early on, there's not many options, especially not good options. And especially not many good options that give you a lot of mining fortune. But then there's this, where for a 25 million coin setup, or if you were to make it on your own and do everything on your own, really cheap compared to that, it's just all around going to give you around 70 mining fortune if you have a Bejeweled Collar on it, or 60 normally, which is still really good, and that's going to help you make a ton of coins back when you're mining. Now, let me clarify, this isn't going to make you all of the coins back that you invested on it. I highly doubt that I'll ever use this setup enough to make the coins that I spent on it back. It's just as simple as that. Once again, do not assume that I'm saying this is the best pet in the entire game, because it's not. It's a interesting pet, and if you want to have a lot of variety in one pet, then it's a fun choice. But if you're trying to do any of these specific things, then of course get their specific pet. It's just not a smart idea to get this if you're only going to be doing farming or if you're only going to be doing mining. It would be like using a flying fish pet as a combat pet just because it has a good amount of defense and strength, which sure it would work, you know, you're going to have extra damage and extra defense, but it's still going to not be, you know, the best option. So the bee pet's kind of like that, but if you just amplified it by a ton. If you're doing just about anything, you're going to be able to do it better, but you're not going to be doing it amazingly. There's going to be better options. So the only kind of people that I think would be benefiting from this setup would be either, you know, so you're early in the game and if you have enough coins for one good pet and you don't know what you want to invest in yet, you don't know what you want to do yet for your money, so you want to just kind of keep your options open, I'd say this would be good in that situation. Once again, there's better options. Do not assume that's not what I'm saying. But if you're not sure of what to do, it's a good option. And the other side of the coin for who I think this could benefit is if you're really late game and if you have plenty of coins or you just have all of this already, it's a fun thing to mess around with. You know, you could give the bee pet whatever item you want and it just is going to be insane with the amount of stats on it. And it just looks funny too, to be fair. And the other kind of people that I think could benefit from this setup is if you want to get into foraging but you don't really have the money for a monkey pet, considering that a level 1 legendary monkey pet is also going for 20 million right now. You know, not everyone has that kind of coins just laying around, and especially not just for foraging. You know, foraging is not... it's no one's favorite skill is all I'm gonna say. Especially since the cheapest level 100 monkey is 58 million coins. And you're getting the same foraging fortune as you are with this bee pet setup. Now you are getting extra speed, you're getting a reduced cooldown, but you're getting it at an additional, you know, 38 million coins, 35 million, 36, somewhere around there. And once again, that's if you buy a good bee pet and buy the mask, because the mask itself is currently showing that it's worth 6 million, and it is actually worth about 8 million right now, but I'm guessing, you know, if more saturate the auction house, it'll probably go down in price. Or once again, if this is a new item and I am correct, then as time goes on, it'll get cheaper too. But even still, if you buy this whole setup that I have right now, then it's 28 mil roughly, compared to the monkey pet that was, you know, 30 mil more expensive for a couple extra bonuses and the same fortune. That's just... I don't know. I'm no forager, as I said, but if I was trying to get into foraging, that's not what I would do. Anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to make this quick video to say that this here bee pet is insane. You know, you can get this bee mask and put just about any pet item on here and make it insane. And, yeah, I feel like I haven't seen people talking about that, considering it's not really something that needs to be talked about, but at the same time, it needs to be talked about. I mean, the bee pet can probably have 100 farming fortune. That's no joke. That is almost as much as a level 100 elephant. And by almost as much, it's 100 compared to 150. That's not a ton, but it's still a lot. That is a wild amount. Also, once again, just another disclaimer, I'm not saying it's the best at any of these pet rolls. Don't go barraging me in the comments saying that I'm wrong and that every pet is better than this and blah blah blah. It's a jack of all trades. That's the kind of pet it is. It's for variety and versatility, and that's all I'm talking about. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. It helps out an absolute ton. If you have any other ideas for guides or anything else you want to see me do in Hypixel Skyblock, make sure to leave a comment down below. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Till next time, everyone. And goodbye.